Oh, I forgot my ears. Hang on. Oh, I can't even get them in here. Good morning, y'all. Do you like my little reindeer ears? Literally, I need a vertical cam to catch all the glory of the reindeer ears here. So I'm going to take these off because they're super heavy on my head and I can't balance. I'm not that talented. I'm super talented, but not in that way. So welcome to the live stream this morning. We're going to wait just a few minutes to allow people to start logging on. I'm going to check and make sure real quick that we're live on our other platforms. If you're catching the replay, please leave me a little note that says CTR for caught the replay. This is going to be on Facebook and YouTube. So, first of all, how are the holidays going for everyone? Are you guys overwhelmed yet? My hair is crazy. Yes, I use the camera as a mirror. Do you see that? Now I'm having hair problems. Hang on. Everything's backwards, right? So, today we're going to be talking about a super cool topic. We get a ton of questions to our Facebook pages, Instagram, YouTube. We get questions from all over the place. And once in a while, I like to see if there's a common theme or sometimes there's a question that just resonates with me. So this past week, we had Kelly post on one of our pages. And actually, I'm going to read her post verbatim because even if you're in the industry already, I bet this was a question of yours at one time. And if you're brand new, this is one of the things that, or if you haven't even opened your travel business yet, right? This is one of the things I bet is kind of mulling around in your brain. So while we're waiting for people to get logged on to the live stream, tell me, if you would, in the comments below, tell me when you knew it was time to start your travel business, right? And by the way, if you're new to the live stream, my name's Cyndi Williams. I'm the travel career coach. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. In fact, next year it'll be 25. And my purpose is to help others follow their bliss into abundance. And abundance is really key because you can follow your bliss all day long, but unless it's really making abundance, it's hard to make a life out of what your passion is. So, one more thing while we're waiting to log it out. You guys know I always share a fun coffee mug. Look at this one I have today. So this is from one of the Starbucks holiday editions from a couple years back. So I do love coffee mugs. They're my favorite. So today's live stream is going to be all about Kelly's question that she sent in. So I'm going to read it to you guys. She said, maybe a stupid question. First of all, there's no stupid questions, right? Smart people ask questions. That's what we tell our kids all the time. Maybe a stupid question, but how do you know when it's the right time to pursue becoming a travel agent if you literally have no experience, ground zero, or in your opinion, would be a good time to try to do it? Okay? Kelly, first of all, great question. And my answer, no doubt, is going to surprise a lot of people because I'm not going to say, oh, go for it, jump in. Hey, Chesha, good morning. I'm seeing part of you guys' comments. Let me check over in Facebook. Feel free as you guys are popping on to pop a comment. Oh, she says, thanks for yesterday and working through my migraine. Yes, Chesha is one of our clients in the COV mastermind. She had a super bad headache yesterday, so you are most welcome. So with Kelly's, question on when do I start my agency? So my answer is probably going to surprise you. I'm not going to tell you, jump in, go for it, everything's going to be fine, because that's not the truth. There are some things you should think about first, and there are some things that you need to really get real with before you jump into making a commitment into doing a new trade, a new business. Hey, Faye, good to see you. So I'm gonna share a little story with you guys to start. You know, we're in the best time of year, right, to talk about this because it's a new year. Everyone's thinking about, what do I want to do with my business? If you already have a travel business, what do you want to do that, makes you bigger and better than last year? And if you have this dream to start a travel business, maybe you've been following the page, but you're like, oh my gosh, like Kelly's question, when the heck do I know when the time is right? I got the best advice when I was in college. I was actually already a travel agent. I worked for RCI Travel. And at the same time, I was going to college for theater because I loved theater. I was in, a ton of performances in high school, and I was just really passionate about it. And I was fortunate enough to really work and study under one of the best theater gurus in our city, which was amazing. I got to be an assistant director. I got to be in lots of performances. But he said something to one of our classes one day that really resonated with me and probably changed the path of my life. And he said, of course, all of you guys want to be a famous actor and want to be in the movies. What 20-something doesn't want that in their life? But I'm going to give you some really solid advice. And he said, if you can envision yourself doing anything else and being happy, you should go do that. Or you should not pursue acting, because acting, theater is a heartless business. You get rejected 9.9 out of 10 times. You have to, work really, really hard. You don't make a lot of money at the beginning, and it's very likely you're never going to succeed. Like, the odds are not in your favor. And at the time, I just thought, oh my gosh, there's like 10 other things I think I could do and be happy. In fact, I love travel so much, like I could do this for the rest of my life. And at the time, I had transfer applications out to all colleges all across the country. And I was really thinking about, taking theater to the next level. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks to go, I can be happy doing something else. So maybe this isn't the path I want to go down. So kind of the same thing I'm going to ask you guys to think about today. And Kelly's question was, when do I know if the time's right? I want you to ask yourself some questions, okay? And even if you've been struggling in your business, even if you're not brand new and you've just been kind of running it hobby style, ask yourself these same questions to do a check-in on how committed are you in your business to making it the thing that is the abundance that drives your life, right? So first one, are you passionate about travel? We get a lot of people that call and go, wow, I've seen what Cyndi's done and I see her lifestyle. It seems so amazing. I want to do what she's done, but they're not really passionate about travel. They just want my life, right? So that's one of those things. I have to tell you, I've been doing this a long time. I've been training agents since the 90s. I've been consulting for years. I've run successful businesses. But the thing about it is I can tell pretty early on who's going to be successful. And the first thing it always starts with is, do you have a passion for travel? Because I'm going to tell you, if you don't have a passion for it, just go find what your passion is and do that. Because all of us should be trying to figure out our soul's purpose and what we want to do and all of that good stuff. So if you're not passionate about travel, it's probably not the right fit, okay? Secondly, are you willing to do the work that's required? A lot of people, look, and there's a lot of like slick marketing out there, and there's good hosts, there's bad hosts, there's MLMs. You guys are like filled, especially if you're like brand new. I really feel for you, because when I started in the 90s, like the path was clear. You go to travel school, you get a job at a travel agency, and boom. Today, you guys a lot of times have to go through some road bumps of, oh crap, I just didn't even realize I signed up with an MLM, or now I'm in this. It's just like a bunch of crap out there, right? So like trying to figure out, what you need to do can be like job one, right? But are you willing to do the work that's required to make this your next career? Because just like any other craft, just like becoming a chef, just like becoming a hairstylist, just like becoming a CEO, there's a certain amount of work that you need to do, amount of experience you need to have, trainings that you need to do in order to make it really successful for you. Hey, Shannon, good morning. You are so welcome. I'm always full of advice. So are you willing to do the work that's required? Because being a travel agent is not as simple as it was even back when I started. You had to learn how to be a travel agent, and that was a pretty comprehensive program, how to package things, how to work the computer systems, how to, work with the travel suppliers, how to do all this stuff. That's just a piece of what you need to do in today's marketplace. Today, you also need to know how to run an online business. Okay, so it's like there's two things that you need to know how to do, and you can get help with either of those things, but ask yourself, am I willing to commit time and do the work that's required to really grow in this industry? The third one is make sure that this is a dream or a passion that keeps tapping on your shoulder. that's a really good test. Like if you've been thinking about being a travel agent for years and you've just never pulled the trigger and it just keeps coming back and it keeps coming back, that's a really good sign. Like you're, from a soul's purpose perspective or from your passion or what you're supposed to be doing with your life, that you're supposed to be doing something different. And there's other ways you can tell this too. Like if you wake up and hate your life every day, or you hate what you're doing, or you've been in corporate, or you're doing something else, and it's just like, oh, I wish I could do that. And every time you like have this dream. And just to share another quick story with you, and not travel related, because I always knew like that was my thing, right? But for years, my husband and I owned another business, a franchise business. And for years and years and years, we lived just outside of Houston, an amazing community called Katy. But we would go to Austin all the time. We loved Austin. We would take weekend trips. We would go stay at the different hotels. And every time we went, we're like, God, I wish we could live here. Oh, I wish we could live here. But we were creating our own obstacles in our way. Oh, we can't live here because the business is too far away, the brick and mortar. Oh, we can't live here because XYZ. Oh, the kids are already in school. There's a million excuses we kept giving ourselves on why we couldn't have our dream of living in Austin. But Austin kept tapping on our shoulder. It was like, I'm waiting for you. Like, you're supposed to be here, right? And it just wouldn't go away. And, gosh, almost 2 years ago now, I had like a complete breakdown where I was like, we were still running both businesses. And I told my husband, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm out of here. Like, I want to get out of this other business. I just want to do travel 100% of the time, make our life out of that, and just go forward full force. And you might say, oh, great, make that decision. Well, it wasn't that easy because we had to give up a business that was doing $300,000 a year cash flow. How do you just give that up overnight? And I told my husband, I said, I don't care if it burns down. I quit. Like, I'm done. And he's like, well, you can't quit. You own the place. And so we figured out an exit plan. But as soon as we made that decision, like it was really hard and it was painful, but as soon as we got into making that decision, everything kind of opened up. And he's like, well, if we wanted to, we could move to Austin now. We sold that business and everything kind of unfolded. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we started to put more obstacles in our way. Oh, but the kids, or oh, but this. And my husband, to his credit, was like, look, this has been our dream forever. If we don't do it now, we're not going to do it. And I said, you know what? You're right. So we pulled the trigger, and guess where we live now? In Austin. In fact, we're building a brand new home as of a couple weeks ago. And the minute we moved to Austin, it just felt like home. It felt like an old pair of jeans. It felt like, and immediately, like, because I'm from Michigan actually originally, and so, but I've lived in Texas for, oh my gosh, since '99, however many years that is. Houston is a beautiful city, and Katy is a beautiful city, but it never really felt like home. The minute my butt landed in Austin, I was like, I'm home. And it was like something in my soul just settled that I knew I was going to be here for the rest of my life. So when your dream of running a travel business keeps tapping you on the shoulder, when it keeps going, hello, I'm waiting, hello, I'm waiting, that's when you know, right? That's step number 3. Does it keep coming back up every time you hate your job, every time you go on Facebook and see something and stuff just keeps reminding you? It's kind of like the universe is telling you, like, you need to follow your dream, right? And then the last thing, guys, is step number 4 is, are you willing to invest in yourself and your business? Because I don't care what type of business you're going to start. Are you not just willing to invest the time, but are you willing to invest it? A lot of people start travel and they're like, oh, I'll just try it out, see how it goes. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to run it as a hobby, there's no judgment. A lot of people have great, robust hobby businesses. But if you're looking to have a career and make a major change and a major shift in your lifestyle, you've got to be willing to invest in yourself and in your business. There's technology that you're going to need. There's support that you're going to need. There is training that you're going to need. And all of those things are going to require an investment. So you have to be able to say yes to all 4 of those things. The number one reason, guys, businesses fail is because they just don't get the help they need. Right? Like you can go check the statistics. They're not great. It's the reality. People don't pay me to fluff your egos. People pay me to get them results and tell them the truth. So look at those year 1 business results. they don't get the help that they need to run their business like a business. And they go out and say, oh, I'm going to kind of figure it out. I'm going to feel my way around. I'm smart. I had a great conversation with a prior client of mine, Margie, who's in my grad group now, and you're going to see that conversation, I think, next Thursday. She's in our filming schedule, but she's coming up pretty soon. But she said the best thing. She was like, when I was in this whole process of like trying to figure everything out, I was such a skeptic because I was trying this and trying that, and it's very overwhelming. But I realized I have to kind of make that, make that decision to invest in my business if I'm going to get it where it needs to go. And that really helped her transform her business, which was amazing. Because a lot of times people get to that step where they're really excited. Like Kelly's really excited right now, but she's a little nervous too. You get in and then you feel like you're getting absorbed because you're overwhelmed or it's too confusing and things, you don't know where to go for what. Any business that you run is going to require time, investment, and you have to be able to willing to do the work and make the investment in what you need to run it like a real business and not like a hobby. So make sure you're asking yourself those questions. So if you said yes to all 4 of these things, you may continue on with your path of getting ready to open your travel. I told you this was going to surprise you guys, and maybe it's okay if you say no at this point on some of these things, then it's just not your thing, your life's purpose. I would rather give you that advice now before you go waste years of your life and thousands of dollars. So get clear with yourself. We're in December, which is that time of year where everyone's like, what do I want for myself? So if you said you're passionate about it, if you said you're willing to do the work, if it has been a recurring dream that keeps coming back, tapping on your shoulder, right? And if you're willing to treat it like a business, then you're going to get the pep talk of what are you waiting for? Only if you say yes to those 4 questions, right? Then you can say, okay, obviously this has been kind of a reoccurring dream. It's not going to go away. It's going to keep tapping you on your shoulder. And at first it kind of does a light tap and then it gets a little more aggressive each time. So your job, gets yucky. Your job gets, so do you ever like wake up and go, I just feel ill. I don't want to go to work today. Like that's sometimes when I work with clients because they're not doing stuff that lights their soul on fire. And that's how you know when it's time to lean in and it's time to move forward with your dream. And I don't know how long you guys have been following me, but I had a post a couple months ago. My dad actually had a pacemaker put in, and it just reminded me of all the stuff I went through in my childhood and why some of this leaning in stuff is easier for me and why I'm good at coaching it, because my childhood was a little bit different than most. I grew up in hospitals. My mom has a very rare autoimmune disease, which kind of affects what, when she gets pneumonia and it degeneratively was affecting her muscles. And so she was in and out of hospitals most of my childhood. And so I learned really quickly being in those hospitals, seeing people cry and seeing what's happening in other families. My mom actually died on the table. And as a 11 or 12-year-old, I was like, oh my God, like shit got real, right? Like really quick. So I understood at 10, 11, 12 years old. And then my stepsister at 19 was in a head-on car accident and lost her life. And the person that she hit, 2 19-year-olds. How traumatic. So that happened when I was 10. When I was in my early 20s, my very best friend in the world almost died of cancer. Thankfully, he didn't. But to see these huge things, it really formed my childhood and formed my opinions. Like I learned really quickly, you don't have the luxury of waiting to live your life. It was almost like I was scared. I was afraid of a life unfulfilled. I was afraid of a life unlived. Like that sat in my core and formed who I am today and formed my, childhood opinions and formed my adult opinions. So yes, it's easier for me to lean in, but I bet everyone watching this live stream right now knows someone or of someone that left too early, right? And sometimes you go, wow, they lived an amazing life. But sometimes you go, oh my gosh, they were just getting started. Hey, Stacy. But we all know someone that was a lesson or a reminder to us. I'm getting bad lighting, so I'm going to switch here. So we all know that person. I want that to be a driver for you. You don't know that tomorrow is promised. And so if your passions poking you on the shoulder and going, hey, wake up, wake up. What are you waiting for? If you wake up every day and your, life doesn't set you on fire, like if what you do every day doesn't set your soul on fire, you're not waking up inspired, you're not waking up excited, then you have to make a change. Life is too short not to make that change. So I want that to resonate with you on a deep level, especially going into the new year. Like there's never a better time to kind of like do things differently, right? And your passion is not going to go away. Like it's going to keep, bugging you. And maybe you came across this live stream and travel is not even your thing, or you're still listening, and you've decided travel is not, but I still want to encourage you, like here's the steps to take, right? Here's the actionable things you can do. Figure out what your passion is, okay? Number 1, figure out what your passion is. Number 2, figure out the steps that you need to take to get there. Figure out the steps you need to take. And number 3, nothing's going to happen if you never take action, right? If you just sit there and it's poking you on the shoulder. So, and I can't promise whatever your journey or path is going to be easy. But when you're in alignment with what your purpose is, what your soul's purpose is, what your passion is, things will start to unfold. Things will start to happen. There will be, the minute you take action, there will be an immediate shift in your energy, right? And this is like science stuff, guys. Like they can measure this now. And just look at the research in quantum physics and energy and vibration, all that stuff they're doing. When you make that decision to take action and move forward on your passion, all of a sudden you wake up inspired. All of a sudden you're a little more excited about every day. All of a sudden there is a shift in your energy when you make that big, bold move to decide to do something different, and stuff just starts to unfold. Just like the Austin thing happened for us when we were like, you know what, we're going to do it. And that, in fact, the house that we're in now, there was competition, but it just so happened that when we came to the home, the owner was here. They got to meet us, have a conversation. And guess what? The owner does a similar thing that I do. They do group coaching. They do mentoring and fostering and helping people grow. And we just hit it off. And it was like this whole thing. And we ended up getting the house, even though we were in competition with other people. So, and it was like the first one we looked at and the first one that we wanted when we came. So making that bold decision, I'm going to pick up my whole life and go to Austin, right? If you decide I'm going to make major changes and run my travel business in the new year and do what's required, do those 4 things we talked about earlier, you'll have an immediate shift, and that will get you on your path. So if you said yes to, I'm passionate, willing to do the work, it's been a reoccurring dream, I'm willing to invest in my business. Now, when it comes to travel stuff, now you have to figure out the steps. And this can be a long road, or it can be a little bit simpler road dependent on your passion, how quickly you want to get things done, right? So if I could go back in time in terms of getting a step-by-step guide on how to open your own portable, profitable travel agency and get it to 6 figures and beyond, and hand myself my own Careers on Vacation mastermind program, there is no amount of money that I would not have paid back in time to do that, because for years and years, we made the marketing mistakes. We spent the time and the investments and hired consultants and the best in the industry, translated everything until it was in a kind of a proven business model of having that profitable portable agency, and is a step-by-step guide. So if that is something you were thinking about, save yourself the years of frustration and overwhelm, invest. Think about making that bold decision and go to careersonvacation.com/ready now and apply for the mastermind program. We've had so many people join, but we have a limited amount of spots in both November, December. We're already booking into January and February. So it doesn't matter really when you start, but you have the access to the steps. That's the easy, quick path, right? So think about that in terms of saying yes to yourself and not wasting time. And no matter what, even if you do something different, take some action on your dream, right? Take some action to lean in, be bold. I promise you your energy is going to shift and you're going to get this whole excitement about your business to move forward. So I hope that this live stream was helpful for you guys today. I just loved Kelly's question. I want to thank her again for sharing the question, because it is a big question. Like, how do I know if I don't know anything? Where the heck do I even start to, one, know if I want to do this, and then two, how to get started. So I wish you guys, as always, so much love and abundance. If the Careers on Vacation program, if you're looking for that something more, that kind of quicker route to success, definitely apply. I'll put the link below. And I hope you guys are having a good holiday season. I'll be back next Wednesday with another amazing topic in our live streams. We're going to replay this later in our Careers on Vacation group. If you haven't already requested to join to our free community there, you're welcome to do that. And follow me on YouTube. There's actually some secret content over on YouTube. I just posted a new video over there today. So subscribe over on YouTube, and then you'll get access to all of our content that we release to help you on your journey. So much love and abundance, guys. Have a great day.